horses are on the track.
G'day folks, welcome to our racing segment on Wide World of Sports Sunday edition, and a very big hello to mums everywhere. Hope you're having a super day. Shane, your mum, of course, is at Matamata in New Zealand. I hope you've been in touch, have you?
Yeah, I rang about 7:30 this morning when I got my little son Nicholas out of bed, or he got myself out of bed.
Good on you. So you've spoken to Dawn, eh?
Definitely.
Good stuff. Now, what about your mum, Daphne? Kim Moore, is she watching?
She sure is, and I'm on my way over there when I finish here today.
Good on you. Well, Kim, your little filly Bombshell has run 3 seconds on the trot, beaten each time by Aragen. What a thorn in your side has Aragen become?
Yes, she's become a bit of a pain actually, but Bill told me he was taking her to Brisbane, but I thought she was going after her last win, and I didn't realise until I received the noms on Tuesday that she was still here, and so we decided to claim with her, but it still wasn't enough. So
fancy having one as genuine and as honest and with as much talent as she has, and she can't crack it for a win.
Yes, it's a little bit frustrating, but she's going really well, so now Aragen's gone, we might have a little bit more luck.
So you're going to keep her up, eh?
Yes.
Yeah, good. We'll have a look at that race a little later, but firstly to Morfordville in Adelaide, where the South Australian Derby was the principal race yesterday, and a big finish. In fact, about 2 lengths covered the first 5 or 6 over the line, and a horse with a head that only a mother can love, from all reports, Bullwinkle, poked out his big noggin and got there by just enough to swear by. Here's Ron Papp's call.
In the middle is Vistago, looking for room, striking Twig, followed by Pax Matt Will. Then Consortium under pressure to the outside. My Trista Lad is well back in the field at the moment, doing nothing. And then came out wide as Seclude, Pax Matt Will ahead of it. Down to the 200-metre mark, and Bullwinkle and Centico go to the leaders now with Battlehawk, striking Twig, the rail and Sport Speed out wide. Bullwinkle, and on the inside, Battlehawk, and down the outside, Pax Matt Will. Here's a great go, Bullwinkle. Bullwinkle wins the Malaysia Derby, I think.
He's named after Bullwinkle the moose from the children's program Rocky and Bullwinkle, Kim, but luckily that big head came in handy yesterday.
Yeah, it sure did. But I liked a horse called Centico. I thought he was a really nice run. He got hit in the head a couple of times with the whip, and he got a bit of a squeeze, and he got beaten 2 lengths, but I thought he went very well.
That's the number 11.
This race is normally a good guide for the Melbourne races in the future, excuse me, like the Melbourne Cup and that, but I don't think the form's going to stand up in the race, John, because they finished too close together. And if you have a look like last year, Al Pompey won very easily, and so did Shiver's Revenge, so I don't think the form will stand up.
Okay. All right, the other big one in Adelaide yesterday was a group sprint. It was called the Sedgwick Classic. It was for fillies and mares, actually, so it's a pretty valuable race if you happen to own a mare. These are the sort of races you want to win to increase their future stud value. And the Sydney mare, Osmart, raced by Jack and Bob Ingham and brilliantly ridden by a little fellow called Michael Evans. She was a mile back in the race, but he didn't panic. He kept his cool. The split came, and Osmart did the rest. Let's pick up Ron's call coming to the turn.
For home. Further back behind those Simple Concepts under pressure, drifting back. Osmart's looking for run, so is Not Related, and so is Princess Plume, and Merry Maiden is out very deep. They race down to the 250. Managirl, the leader. Brompton Cross, Ladies Way. Pompey Lady and Rhythm joining in, and Merry Maiden from a long way back is starting to power home. They're right across the track. Anybody could win this. Pompey Lady took the lead. Rhythm, Merry Maiden out wide, and Osmart's got between them all. The Ingham colours, Osmart, hands and heels, and one with something in hand.
Very impressive.
Yes, she won very well, I thought, but there was about 4 lengths between about 10 or 12 horses, so it'd be hard to pick anything special besides her, I think.
A horse in that, John, to follow, I think, is a horse in the blue and white colours, a horse called Kerwin Bell, trained by David Hayes. Only won 2 races and was probably outclassed yesterday, but never had a lot of room. When she gets into a race with a lower grade, she's going to be very hard to beat. But from Adelaide yesterday, John, I thought Wall Street, a 2-year-old on the way up. He's had 3 starts for 3 wins, owned by the same connections as St. Cupboard. He's a horse to follow. He's a very promising horse by Capstad.
Right, Wall Street, eh?
Yes.
Okay. Now we go to Brisbane, where they had a slow track at Eagle Farm on Guineas Day, and the Sir Bernhardt Stakes was the first of the big ones. Shane renewed his association with an old mare called Let's Hurry, a 6-year-old mare. They can be a bit of a risky proposition as betting propositions go, but she just bolted in yesterday, so we'll take a peep at this with the call by Alan Thomas, and then we'll get Shane Dye's impressions of the win.
Quick Fix led together. 2 lengths away, Tenor, followed by Pious Groom. Let's Hurry coming to the outside, and Kiwi Golfer under the whip. And then coming Friends Venture. 300 metres to go, and Let's Hurry raced up and bolted to the lead. Let's Hurry from Durbridge Quick Fix. Then Try and Remember, followed by Friends Venture and Innocent King. Let's Hurry clear, 100 to go. Try and Remember moving into second spot, but Let's Hurry's well clear with 50 metres to go, and Let's Hurry's going to bolt in. Let's Hurry first, Try and Remember second, Yarradorf third.
Well, they came in at long intervals.
Yeah, she won very easily, John. There's no doubt about that. She's a very good horse, fresh, and she likes to sting out of the track. But I think from yesterday's form in Brisbane, you can throw it out the door because only leaders or horses racing on the fence had a chance. If you got back, you had no hope. A horse like Arborea had no hope of winning before she went out, John. So, you know, it suited leaders.
Kim, Innocent King is a favourite of yours, trained by Kerry Jordan. He ran fourth, first run in ages. Were they happy?
Yes, actually I spoke to Kerry this morning and he said Innocent King pulled up very well and he's going to run him Monday week at the Gold Coast, so he's really pleased with him.
He suffered a very unusual condition. It was an infection in the back somewhere after the Turnbull Stakes last spring.
Yes, apparently he pulled a muscle or something and they thought he was over that, and then it was a very deep-seated infection and they had a lot of trouble with him, but he looks fantastic now. I think he looks stronger than ever. Really?
Well, he's a Derby winner, he's a Rosehill Guineas winner, and Kerry keeps saying this is the best horse in Australia. You know, you've got to take some notice of that claim, haven't you?
Yeah. Well, I think he looks better than he ever has, so maybe this will be his time. So
He's got to prove it, and he hasn't proved it.
He hasn't. Well,
not for a while.
Well, Kerry will argue with you about that.
Hasn't really had an opportunity to prove it,
No,
has
he had a chance in Melbourne.
OK, all right, OK. The Queensland Guineas, folks, and we pick them up on the turn. Here's Alan's call.
In the straight, 4.25 to go. Hot to race, led Grey Flute, double angle, followed by Paris Lane, Our Fiction. Pearl Prince to the outside, missed the door, trying to get a move on in the middle. And Waikikamu Cows coming down the extreme outside. Paris Lane darted to the front at the 200. Our Fiction moving into second, and here comes Waikikamu Cow. Paris Lane, the leader with 100 metres to go from Our Fiction and Waikikamu Cow. Paris Lane in front with 50 metres left to go. It's another one to the Freedman camp. Paris Lane went home to beat Our Fiction and Waikikamu Cow.
Well, I liked Our Fiction. I thought it was a very good run from this filly. She got to the line really well, and it was a very nice Oaks trial. Trained by Bruce McLaughlin, who's a very good trainer, and she also won the Magic Millions, so it'd be a nice double if she got that.
Magic Millions and Oaks, it would be a unique double. Yeah. Shane?
The two back markers, Waikikamuka and Arborea, I thought were the best two runs in the race. They had no hope of winning before they went out because horses back in the field could not win, and they made up a lot of ground. So just watch them in 2 weeks' time in the Grand Prix.
How does Arborea look? She's been up a fair while already.
She looks very good, John. Clary's done a good job, and the best thing about her yesterday was she didn't pull and get her head up, and that's what she cannot do in staying races.
No. Funny thing, in Melbourne, when she won the Oaks, that was her 10th start of that preparation. She must be a tough little rooster.
She is, and there's not much of her.
OK, to Sydney now. Kim, I'm sorry to put you through this torture again. Kim trains a filly called Bombshell, which hits the lead in white blinkers as they turn for home, and it was about there that Kim jumped to her feet in the stand.
Where Kimmy Cam Callis joined by Bombshell, and Bombshell takes the lead immediately after straightening. Bombshell is drawn clear. Last Spy on the outside, running on fairly well, and then Ockle Watch. Mama Rose is gone, followed by Golden Bell, and Aragen is now pulled right to the extreme outside. She's starting to get going, but she'll want to. Bombshell's got a good break, 100 out. Here comes Aragen. Can she do it again? She's sprouting wings, Aragen. She's rocketing home. Quickly collars Bombshell and Aragen. 3 on the trot, and look out Brisbane.
Yeah, filly by Rory's Jester, Aragen, and off she goes for the Sires and the Castlemaine. Your little filly will stay in Sydney.
Yes, I think we'll stay here and just hope to pick up a nice race with her. She's going really well, and she's pulled up really well.
I thought Aragen was entitled to get beat yesterday, John. Like, she got held up and never got cleared or late. And with the big weight, you know, she was giving the other horse like 7 kilos, I think, yesterday, wasn't she, Kim?
Bombshell?
After the allowance, yeah. And
3.
she's, didn't you claim?
Yeah, 1.5.
1.5.
Only
so
1.5, yeah.
3, so, you know, and she still picked it up.